and it's only for a moment. Said it's only for a moment, and now it's just begun. And now it's just begun, and it's only for a moment. Said it's only for a Wagwan people, it's your brother from another motherland, Mr. Mikel, the world changer, in the house, here and now, for another conversation on spiritual health. Yes, we're here to talk about spiritual health as usual. This is a live in conjunction with the Spiritual Health with Mikel podcast, which goes online every day on Spotify, Anchor, Apple Music, Overcast, yada yada yada, yada yada yada, yada yada yada. Anywhere you can find a podcast, you'll be able to pick up Spiritual Health with Mikel. We are also now broadcasting on YouTube as well, so you'll be able to watch full-length episodes back on YouTube right now as well. What else? Yeah, this live is dedicated, man. Like, again, for the last year, since 2019, we've been having a conversation on spiritual health, particularly aimed at the millennial generation. Yes, you, my 80s, 90s babies, these people, you people, us people, who were born into a world that is absolutely erupting around us, and that which we was taught to be, live and exist in is now, I mean, do we need any greater example than the one we're in right now, family? Do we need any greater example than the experience we're having in this moment? Do we need any more of a signal, yeah, that this world, or the world that we were taught to exist in, is now over? Do we need any more examples? Do you need an earthquake to happen under your foot? Do you need, I don't know, the ground to shake? Do you need, like, you're really, some of us are really waiting for like a huge white man to come from the sky and bark this voice at us before we get it in our heads that this world as we know it is done. It's finished. Yes, welcome to the new world, my kings and queens, people of the earth. Watu Waroho. You understand? It's a new world, family. And so we have to now have the conversation as I've been called to for the last year. I could never imagine that a year to the day I started this podcast would be the day we get locked in our houses. Now that is timing. Yes? So we are here in a new world, and it is incumbent upon us in our various skills and talents, right, to begin the conversation, family. To begin the conversation of what do we want our world experience to be? Yes. What do we want the world experience to be? Do you know why the government has locked you in your houses right now? Yeah, you know why the government does not want you out? Because they are losing power by the millisecond. They are losing powers over you, powers over your experience of this simulation. They're losing it. You're starting to realize genuine happiness just from living your truth. You're starting to realize, oh my God, how much you have an impact on nature, and you don't want to be a part of destroying nature anymore. Yes, you're starting to realize, oh my God, I don't have to work a job that doesn't reflect who I am. My work no longer has to be at odds with who I want to be spiritually. These are all, irrespective of where you live, work, your race, color, rah, 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 all our differences, we are all having this revelation across the world right now. And it is fantastic, beautiful, never before. Forget what you hear in the news. Never before, as a human family, have we had such an understanding of each other, an understanding of the world, and an understanding of ourselves, and the power to do something about it. Never before, right? And so the reason why you're locked in your houses right now is because the big bad wolf is scared. He's huffing. He's puffing. But he don't know what you're made of. You understand? Man's trying to blow your house down. When you're sitting there, we're the little piggies. We're sitting there like, So today, family, instead of getting distracted with what the old world of white supremacy is running around, trying to scramble all the power that they can get, instead of trying to focus on, the fear that's in them, they're really showing their ass right now. Instead of focusing on the fear that's within them, I want you to spend this honorable moment, because as much as this is wicked and devilish, this is hugely divine, and there is a godly spirit moving this entire project. And you being in your house right now, family, it is the golden opportunity to incubate yourself in love. Okay? This is your cocoon time, my butterflies. Yes! You've been crawling around in the dirt for a long time, my kings and queens. And some of you have been praying. Some of you have been wishing. Some of you have been practicing, exercising to experience new realms of existence. Yes? Just like that caterpillar. He sits on the ground, going through the dirt, alright? Sitting on leaves and praying. One day he can experience another realm of itself. Another realm, another spectrum of its colors. Same consciousness, same life. But one must die in order to see. You tell me, what dimension does the butterfly live in comparison to the caterpillar? What dimension does the butterfly experience, the perspective, does the butterfly experience in comparison to its caterpillar state? Well, this is you, family. You've been a slave. Yes, all of us. We've been slaves. We've been eating the dirt. We've been living in fear of predators that we cannot escape. Predators that want to take us and manipulate us and keep us in the dirt of our lives and keep our experience on a low vibration, two-dimensional, this place, that place only. And now we are being called to be reborn anew into beautiful beings. Yes? To show all the spectrums of our color, all the lights that beam through us as divine beings. We are being called, yes, to that state, that experience, family. Yes? Now you have been summoned into your homes by the government. But God, for the past year, and the divine universe has summoned you into yourself. It's time to go into yourself. Use the time. Don't use this time. Please don't waste this time complaining about how you wish you was outside, about how you wish you was with this person, how you wish you would. Don't do it. Use this time, my kings and queens, to go into self. Get comfortable with your pain, comfortable with your trauma, yes? Comfortable with that which you use your external experience to run away from. Are you following me? You always use the I got a job, so I can't think about my pain. right? I gotta go to work. Oh, I gotta go check my friends. I gotta, this person's birthday, that person's Christmas, this one. Yeah, I gotta keep up with my boyfriend. I gotta go on a date. And so I gotta do my event. So I ain't got time to think about where I need healing. When the reason why, family, the reason why some of the beautiful things that we do from the greatest place in our heart, the reason why it's not yielding the true results of our highest intentions is because we are focused on the prettiness, the beauty of the external expressions, but not allowing ourselves the time to beautify our internal impressions. That's why everything we do seems to have a taint of wickedness, a taint, right? It seems to be tainted because we are not taking care and spending 8 hours a day minimum on this inside. So family, now's the time to be creative for being creative's sake. Yes, I know you're scrambling looking for money, but now is the time to be creative for creative's sake. Creative with no other objective other than to just see and observe yourself. To get lost like a child. What did Yeshua say? Pull out your Bible if that's what you're well versed in. Yeshua says, to enter the kingdom of heaven, we must become like children. Because children, family, are not looking with eyes of perversion. Children live and sap from the moment, family. Children's eyes are always there to discover, always humble themselves to learn. You understand? We must have that golden attribute of a child. We must own it for ourselves in this isolation. Don't judge yourself. I know you look in the mirror and see the person who hurt that other person. I know you look in the mirror and hear the sounds of negativity that people have associated with you. I know you look in the mirror and you see someone who is not good enough for X, Y, and Z, not smart enough for X, Y, and Z. But do you realize when a child looks at you, all they feel is your truth? When a child looks at you, all they feel is your truth. They don't know about you, they don't care. Even if they knew about your bank account, they don't care. They don't care about your cellulite. They don't care about your rolls. They don't care about your hair going left or right. They don't care, do you understand? They care about one thing only, your energy, what is beaming from you. That is how a child reads people. It's time to relearn how to read yourself like that. So stop judging yourself with the barometer of this world, because that world is dead, finished. We will not survive it if we want to hold on to it. Do you understand? So be naked, sit there, create, whichever you're creating. We were born to be created. For anyone who's got a pen right now, listen, I always have a pen and paper. Listen, I want you throughout this stage, and throughout this live, I want you to have a paper and pen, yes, or a phone or a tablet or something you can write and jot down notes, things that I say, things that are, are coming up in your mind as I speak, so that you can use this as meditation for later, yes? And I want you to do that, family. But write this down. I want you lot to write this down. And repeat after me. Yes? I was created. I want to hear you, man. I want to feel that you're saying it. Right? Okay? I was created by by the Creator to be creative. You see that little, you like that one, yeah? One more time. I have been created by the Creator to be creative. You see that? That's all you need to be focusing on right now. Be creative and do not confine your creations to, what the world says, performing arts. This is the performing arts, and it has to look like a Beyonce, or it's not really artistic, is it? You know what I'm saying? This is not very Van Gogh. No, this is not what we're talking about. Yes, we're talking about your inspired action. Yes, your inspired action. The things you want to do in love. Like you see this rosemary. And just like a child, you want to see how this rosemary can be formed, or you want to see how it tastes in a smoothie. You want to see how, you want to see what two incense sticks do when they go together. You want to stack pillows and form a pile and jump into it, practicing your backflips. You want to, create you want to use jerk sauce on mushrooms. You know what I'm saying? And avocado, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about that kind of creativity. I'm talking about putting your pen to paper and just allowing yourself to spew your heart. I'm talking about going online and sitting in a classroom of your choice. Whether it's a classroom on chakras, a classroom on meditation, a classroom on twerking, a classroom on, pottery, a classroom on basket weaving, a classroom on spiritual health. Yes? And then using that classroom, as a way to help you look more deeper into yourself. This is the time, my kings and queens, yes, to be beautifully creative. Non-judgmental creations. Non-judgmental. This morning I made a smoothie. Last night, me and my partner, we made some food together. We collaborated on a meal, and it's like, fam, let's just do it, man. But please, get deep with this time. I want to help you. I want to help those who want to be helped. I'm here to coach people on this matter. So many things. I'm here every morning talking about spiritual health. Every morning, afternoon. Sorry, I'm not good at routine. I'm here every day talking about spiritual health. The live podcast is there with a backlog, at least a year of spiritual health content. And I have a WhatsApp broadcast list also, again, available for people that want to have one-to-one contact with me, and I send you direct messages on spiritual health. So if you want to get on my broadcast list, you can add this WhatsApp number. And this is all free, family. This is all free. Okay? If you want to get on my broadcast list, add that WhatsApp number. I send content. I create music, podcasts. I send voice notes, links, everything to do with spiritual health, And if you are desiring, guys, for one-to-one coaching, where I can sit you down personally and walk you through a spiritual health program around your life, then please hit me up if you are ready to invest in that one-to-one time. Other than that, you pretty much have me one-to-one anyway. Yeah? So family, what time? I want to make sure we're on time because we're going to do question time in a second. So, greetings. Dada yangu. Sema. So check this out, guys. Yesterday, I want to touch on something that we touched on yesterday. Because our oath, I call myself a world changer. Heaven is my right, and heaven is my responsibility. So I call myself the world changer. And I'm gonna post that. I'm gonna send out on my WhatsApp a conversation I had the other day about how I even came to that, how I got the title, because it's not a title that I gave myself. This is the power of people, right? But if you want to know my fees, please DM me and we can talk about that, right? I'll break it down for you. So, our oath as world changers. Heaven is my right and heaven is my responsibility. This is what I say every single day, okay? And why do I say this? Heaven, as 7.5 billion people on earth, we must know, and I feel like we all can agree, and we've all said and know at some point in our intellect that we are, right, made in the image and likeness of the Almighty Creator. We call God Mungu, Allah, Tik, Inkai, yes, and many other beautiful names, yes. We are made in the image and likeness of God. Therefore, if we are in the image and likeness of God, right, we not only are we to do what God does, which is create, right, we have the right to experience the highest experience of God, which is characterized in that word heaven. You following me? It's characterized in that word heaven. So heaven is your right. As an extension of the Almighty Creator, heaven is your right. Okay? And because it's your right, family, it is your absolute, irrevocable responsibility. Are you with me? It is your responsibility to constantly will, desire, propagate, and create heaven in your existence. Are you not following me? Heaven is my right and heaven is my responsibility. That is my daily mantra. That is my daily process whenever I'm going into my actions. Now, I want you lot, if you lot missed it yesterday, I want you lot to write this down. Write this down. Because there's something that I want you hear me talk about heaven a lot. Because I'm tired of waiting for heaven. I don't know about you, but if you're still down for waiting for heaven, you can cut me off, because all you're going to hear is me talk about how you can create it for yourself right now. But I want you to understand something very important about heaven. Yes, and I want you to write this down. We spoke about it yesterday, but I want you to write this down or repeat it so you've got it in your mind. Heaven is not a destination. Hell is not a destination. You hear me? Heaven and hell are not destinations. They are modes of transport. Yes, family. Again, heaven and hell are not places you arrive at. Yes? Or you go to. Heaven is the vehicle you use, yes, or hell, to journey through life. That is the game changer. Heaven is not a destination. Heaven is a mode of transport. And now when you look at it and understand it from that perspective, you will understand why it's taken 2,000 years for paradise to be experienced on earth. Yes? Because people always believe, yes, that heaven is somewhere to arrive at. Paradise is going to be something that is given to them by someone, an external, extraterrestrial entity outside of yourself. Heaven is a vehicle, family. And those of you who live in any city or anywhere in the world will know that although we're all in the world, although we are all traveling, we are not all in the same vehicle. Yeah? What's that famous Tiny Temple line that we all used to like? I drive past the bus I used to run for. That right there just shows you I drive, mode of transport, past the bus, mode of transport I used to run for, mode of transport. Yes? So we are all traveling, but we are not all We are not all in the same vehicle. Yes? That is why we can all be in this realm we call Earth and literally experience completely different things. Some people are going through hell right now. And hopefully, just as Sarah expressed, some people are going through heaven. Okay? So it is your choice. And in the next, I'm going to be going deeper into this in future lives. Every day when we wake up, I'm going to be explaining about this, how we can take responsibility for always being in heaven. Okay? But life, as many philosophers have stated before, life is a journey, family. Life is a journey. An everlasting journey. Yes, even when your body decays, life continues. Life has no destination. It's an endless safari that has no destination. Yes, what it has on this journey is stations. You arrive at the station of birth, the station of walking, the station of talking, the station of school, the station of hospital, the station of boyfriend, girlfriend, marriage, GCSEs, job, holidays, relocation, childbirth, new location. It's just stations. And every station is there for you to experience, for you to, all stations, pain, stations of pain, stations of pleasure. Yes? All stations are there for you to experience, to be fully present in, for you to learn more about yourself as a divine entity until the conductor says, all aboard! And you are there to move on. The problem with us in life, family, is that when we arrive at a station, yes, both in pain and in pleasure, when we arrive at a station in life, family, we get so attached to it. Not just pleasure, some of us get attached to the pain. We get attached to a station that when life naturally calls us to board the train, to move along the journey, we don't want to go. And we carry souvenirs and memorabilia that have some sort of value to us in the moment, but for the most part ruin our experience of the next station. You let the baggage of your last relationship ruin your next relationship. You let the pleasure of your last relationship affect your new relationship. Oh, he didn't put it down like my ex. You know what I'm saying? Or my ex was abusive and now I'm looking for that. Do you understand? We do that all the time. We let the words that we experience in school, the words of our teachers, the words of other pupils in schools, yes? The things that they did, the traumas that we collect on the way, both the pleasurable traumas and the unpleasurable traumas, yes? We let those affect our next station. The important thing in life, family, is to be able to be so present that when the next moment comes, you are so present again. You feeling me? The moment requires your full presence. So before I go into questions, here's something I want you to, I'm bang on time. Please prepare your questions, put them in the question box, okay? Put them in the question box. Now, before I go into questions, I want you guys to do something. I want you guys to write this down. This is your task for this week. This is your task for the week. This is your task for the week. I want you to think about this, right? What can I sacrifice? I want you to find one thing that you can sacrifice. Many of you don't know, I just came off a water fast, a 1 week water fast. Okay? A 1 week water fast. I just came off of it. Only water for a whole week. Alright? And if you know me, me love now my food. So I want you to ask yourself, but that water fast showed me something about my true power. Okay? My power over my emotions, my body. Okay? Right? And the power over always being present. And now I've arrived at another moment where I get to appreciate food. I want you to find one thing that you love, that you can sacrifice, one thing that you love or you're emotionally attached to, or something that's given you some sense of emotional security at the moment, or something that you overindulge in as a way to not see yourself. Okay? Now, this could be masturbation. Okay? Many of us in this time, especially when we're incubated in our house, right? We are caught up in ill sexual practices, even if it's with someone. But things like pornography, okay? Some of us are addicted. We need to check it, okay? Can you give it up is the question. Can you observe yourself without that for a significant amount of time? All right? Alcohol. Can you do it? Can you do it? Can you see yourself in your home during this time with no form of intoxicant? Weed. Yes? Can you allow yourself, right, to experience the same high from just your breath? Sugar. Can you find comfort in just being without sugar? Yes? Now I'm telling you things, family, that I too have found so much pleasure in. Yeah? So I want you guys to be able to, in this time, this is our incubation time, and this is a time to observe self. Because if there's the reason why I'm telling it's so important that we do this, family, is because if you see how your liberties have been taken away, you need to understand your power with nothing. You need to understand what your power is at zero. You need to feel so powerful at zero. You need to understand abundance, happiness, health, wealth, most importantly, peace, with nothing. If peace comes because you had an ejaculation, then there's always a prerequisite, an external prerequisite to your peace. Are you following me? If peace comes because someone's touching you affectionately, then there's an external prerequisite to your peace. If peace comes because you're intoxicated or high, again, many of you know, 2019, I'll look you in the face and tell you, when I was living in Kenya, I smoked every single day in 2019. Namely because weed is so accessible. It's like rosemary. You just do that. But again, can you, and it was something that I saw as giving me a sense of peace, and it was. But I had to come to the same conclusion. How peaceful am I if I cannot be without this thing? You understand? And so I told myself, 2020, we're not doing it. You understand? Masturbation, same thing. I found peace in it. And I told myself, 2020, we're not doing it. Do you understand? Overindulging in external things, we have to be able to let go of it, family. Okay? So that we can see ourselves. Because what happens is, family, if someone, and this goes for God, if all your power is external, then someone can always exercise power over you. If all your power, if all your love, if all your peace is derived from external things, then someone can always exercise power over you. And this is what this fear program is going to show you. Do you understand that? If you don't know how to be in peace without food, you're going to do some crazy shit when there's no food around. If you don't know how to be in peace when there's no penis, when there's no pum pum, yeah, you're going to do some crazy shit when none of those things are available. As you can see, some people are right now. So it's not about like or dislike, but I love it though. I'm okay with drinking. I'm okay with smoking. I'm okay with sugar. I'm okay with me. I'm okay with it all. You know what I'm saying? It's not about being okay. It's about understanding. If spiritual health is the journey you want to go on, it's about understanding your power outside of what anyone else can control. Alright, let's do questions now, family. I've gone a bit over time, but I wanted to explain that. Let's do questions. We've got about 24 minutes left. Let's do questions. Got 24 minutes left. Thank you to everyone tuning in. This will also be available on YouTube at some point. But let's do, it's about preparing your higher self. Big up Constantly, yeah, on his lonesome. The breath is the most underrated energy source. Over 200 plus days on just liquids right now. Wow, wow. You're a teacher, man. You're a teacher. And if you got content on that, I'll be tuning into that. 200 plus days on liquids. Just saying that is scaring me, and that means I need to go and discover what he's talking about. Yeah, but let's get questions, family. Put it in the question box, please. Let's do questions. It's the question time. It's the question. Guys, I released a new song. Yesterday, I released a new song called Birthday Dance. It's for you people, man. It's for us in our homes, man. I want to bring the family vibe back to our homes. I want you guys to go and download it on soundcloud.com/Mikel. Experience the song, dance with your children, your loved ones, you're by yourself, you know, take some videos, share it with people. You know what I mean? I want to get our vibrations up, man. This is a time to be stupendously creative. Yes? Question. How do we guide and help others if we are experiencing different realities or not on the same path? This is a quote from Albert Einstein. Setting an example is not the main means of influencing others. It is the only means. You lot with me? One more time. Setting an example is not the main means of influencing others. It is the only means and the only way you can help the people in your life where you want help but not rock on the righteous path. You have to walk the path yourself, my youth. You have to go do it. That's the only way. And it's a genius way. It's a genius way. Why? Because have you ever tried to help someone? And the more you focus on helping them, is the worse you become. The more you focus on how right you're trying to get them, it's the worse you become. You end up, you know, I watched this documentary, guys. It was a crazy documentary. Maybe you can find it on the internet. I don't even know how I found this documentary. But there was this black guy who was, I can't remember his impetus for doing this, but he wanted to study, you know, and do a documentary on heroin addicts. Okay? And so he wanted to interview them. So he interviewed them. And after interviewing them, he thought that weren't enough. He wanted to go and live with them so he can have a daily understanding of their impetus for staying on heroin and not getting on. And that wasn't enough. Yeah? He was like, nah, I ain't getting it. I gotta know. So he decided to take some of this shit. I don't know how you take heroin. I think you smoke it. So he decided to take some of that stuff. Yeah? Oh no, you inject it, maybe. Yeah? Anyway, he decided to take it just to see what their experience was like and why they can't get off. You guessed it, he became a heroin addict and the documentary became about him. Do you understand that? My point is, Albert Einstein, who is one of the greatest minds of the old world. We have better minds today. Yes? But check this out. Setting an example is not the main means of influencing people, it's the only way. So for those of us who are focusing on a path and constantly peering over at our parents, our brothers, our sisters, our friends, our colleagues, the world, yada yada, our partners, our boyfriends, our girlfriends, if only they could eat plant-based, they'd get it right. You know what I'm saying? If only they could just think, follow Dr. Sebi, that's what you need to do. You need to read the Quran. That's your problem. Do you get what I'm saying? No. You need to walk the path. Call the contractor. We need the contractor. You know what I'm saying? You need to walk the path for ourselves in order to be able to bring people along with us. And that's all she wrote, family. That way, you stay steadfast on your journey, you keep the journey going, you stay empowered, and in doing so, you empower people. Yes? Like I said, this live is about me. I need to be an example. I need to wake up and see the best Mikel. I need to make sure I'm eating good. There's no point telling you like this stuff. You know what really drives me to become better is knowing that I say all of this stuff publicly. So my mum listens to this. My partner listens to this. People who I coach with listen to this. You know, people who know me intimately and personally listen to this. So they could be like, this guy's chatting shit, rude boy. This guy is lying. He's out here talking the best. And he doesn't do that at all. You understand? And I ain't out here to be no hypocrite. So this is about me. I'm setting an example for myself. Walking the path and sharing it. You understand? Sharing the path. That's all I'm doing. This is more of a vlog than anything else. This is a vlog. More than anything else, this is vlogging. Yeah? So, you understand? So, let's ask questions, guys. We've got 14 minutes left, maybe 13. Come on, give me questions. 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 Question. Question. Hey, question. Hey. Hey, do you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna play some soca right now. After I'm gonna Chesaroha to some soca. Alright, so is that a question? You're also human and the physical path is flawed. It's not flawed. How can it be flawed? It's not flawed. You're in a game. Why is it flawed? It's not flawed. What's flawed is our perspective. What's flawed is the system. What's flawed is the vehicle. Life and our various levels of experiences of it is not flawed at all. We are not flawed. Have you noticed? What World War I, World War II, World War III, virus outbreak, you know, blah blah blah. Trees still grow, birds still sing, foxes still have sex. Lions, tigers and bears, they're all around. Do you get what I'm saying? They're all there. It's us who got the problem. Why have we got the problem? Because we have taken for granted our most powerful asset, which is we literally have the power to activate God on earth and go against nature. That's our problem. Currently, we live in a system, yes? We live in a system, yes, thank you, consciousness. We live in a system that goes against nature. Therefore, as we are educated and led through this system, yes, we continue the wicked practice of not being natural. That is our only problem today. I said this in other lives last year. Some people didn't understand. I said there's two people today, the natural and the unnatural. It's not even about black and white no more. It's not. It's really not even about black or white no more. It's not man and woman. Yeah? It's not that. It's natural, unnatural. You understand? Authentic, artificial. Which one are you? You don't have to answer me. You gotta prove it in your lifestyle practices. Our only issue today, family, is we are not in alignment with nature. Therefore, the power, yes, the divine power we have been endowed with in our birth, right? We do not activate it. We constantly, through our lifestyle practices, school, work, socialization, we submit that divine power to wicked people, and they use it against us to program us in fear. What do we use our will for but wickedness? Big up the investigator, my mentor in the house, the legend. Everyone follow the investigator, man like Andrew Muhammad in the building. One of the most powerful people in our community in the UK. So, do you understand? Of course, that divine power is spiritual. Do you understand? Of course it's spiritual. Of course it's spiritual. But what I'm here to help people understand is that your physical entity is also a part of your spirituality. They are not separate. But that divine power I'm talking about is separate from your being, but you are not separate from the divine power. Does that make sense? That divine power exists without you, but you do not exist without it. Make sense? Yes. So this, even when we die, yes, and we just become flesh, that flesh still is a part of the spiritual world. Yes? Which is greater? You missed my words. Thank you. Sorry, I don't want to miss you guys' stuff. Ask one question. Do you want? Oh no, I ain't even got time. I was gonna say you might as well come on live so we can talk like this. Yes. However, family, of course, our higher selves are greater because it's what has manifested us into being. So the aim and objective here on earth, family, is to live a physical existence that is in alignment with our spiritual calling, with the inevitable journey that we are going to go on. Yes? It's about alignment. You can't experience, this is a physical world. So if you want to go somewhere spiritually, you have to take yourself there physically. That's why exercise, working this body, opens you up. Meditation opens you up. You can't just go, you know what I'm saying? This ain't Sabrina the Teenage Witch. And even she had to snap her fingers, wiggle her nose. This is a physical existence. You gotta do physical things if you wanna raise your spiritual vibrations. This is what Chezo Rojo is for, which I'm about to do. I'm gonna put on for those of you who are on Spotify, I have a Chezo Rojo playlist. Yes, I have a Chezo Rojo playlist. We got an island playlist with just Caribbean music, a nighttime playlist with evening specials, a house party playlist. Yes. We got all this stuff. Yeah. But guys, let's ask questions. I've got 7 minutes left. I think we've done well today. We got through a lot. But just to remind you, I want you to ask yourself this week, what can you sacrifice? What can you use as a tool to observe your spiritual powers? Yes? What can you use as a tool to observe your spiritual powers in sacrifice? Yes, sacrifice is the greatest way to understand your emotion and your power over your emotion. So what are you ready to sacrifice? Yes? What can you start with? Let's do it once every week or every month. Maybe maybe I don't want to change it. Have one thing you sacrifice in the month. Yes? Or one thing that you focus on shifting in the month. So it could be your food. Yes? So maybe you focus on, eating healthy or eating maybe plant-based, right? Or reducing your sugar intake or removing alcohol. Yeah, so maybe you're focused on, making sure that for the whole month of, where we at? We're in April. For the rest of April and into January, March, April, May. Yo, I don't live in your world. I really forget days and months. Anyway, so April, May, maybe it's about not masturbating, not having sex, no alcohol. Can you go without sugar? You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to dictate. I'm here to inspire you in helping you understand your spiritual self. You know which ones are going at you the most. Maybe it's weed. A lot of us are stocked up on the ganja right now, and of course there are benefits. Listen, let me tell you something. Let me preface this with everything. Everything has its benefits, but everything beneficial can be a disaster to you if you do not enter it with a sound mind and know yourself beyond that experience. Does that make sense? So, are there benefits to weed? Of course. Alcohol? Of course. Sex? Come on. You are one of the benefits of sex. Yes? But guys, we must be able to know ourselves and know our power outside of weed, money, sex, sugar, food, music. Sometimes I just turn off the music because sometimes we drown ourselves in music. It's also, we abuse ourselves, family. Some of us need to practice sitting in silence for a day. Can you sit in total silence for a day? Total silence for a day. Now some of you have children, you might not be able to do this, but I'm saying if you live on your own, can you do that? Again, I'm not here to dictate, I'm here to inspire you. Yo, big up my sister, sis. Big up you, man, on that journey, man. Let's talk offline as well, man. Let's talk offline, hit me up on WhatsApp. I want to inspire you on that journey even more. So guys, we've got 3 minutes. If there's no questions, family, again, I'll reiterate, what can you, for the rest of this month, prepare yourself to sacrifice to observe your spiritual power? You want to make it during this cocoon period, this transition period. If you want to make it, then you have to understand about sacrifice. We like to talk about the caterpillar into the butterfly scenario. Oh, I'm becoming a butterfly, la 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 la, amen. But we don't realize the caterpillar is not eating, my rude boy. Rude boy, the caterpillar ain't eating, cuss. The caterpillar ain't got no food, cuss. The caterpillar ain't out in the sunlight, cuss. The caterpillar ain't eating no dirt, cuss. He ain't having sex, cuss. He ain't connecting with no other caterpillar's butties, cuss. You understand? So, you understand that? It's called sacrifice, rude boy. So what can you sacrifice in order to become and experience a higher spiritual version of yourself? That is the question today. Guys, I'm getting the countdown. If any of you would like my personal one-to-one spiritual health coaching to give you a program for your life to help you on your spiritual journey, please DM me. It will cost you. It's the only thing I charge for, right? Other than that, you can listen to this podcast online in the next 24 hours. You can watch it back on YouTube. You can add my WhatsApp to get on my WhatsApp broadcast list. And yeah, to stay connected. Peace in, love out. Nakumaisha watu wa roho. Hey! You're done now.